Plan was to do a 6-hour race. Plan changed. Here's what we did instead. Time for another YouTube video. Training for the 24-hour champs in December has been going really well. So well actually, that all the plans changed. Last time I did this video, I was talking about a 6-hour race I had coming up. And actually, when that was booked back in September, I was injured. And at the time, it was probably the right thing. The main reason I entered the 6-hour race was to get a lot of training in one day, and probably just to build my confidence. And as time passed, the injury I had went away, and training was going really well, I found the confidence from somewhere else. I felt like I didn't really need to run for 6 hours to tell myself that I could run for 24 hours really well. With anything as big as a 6-hour run, it's always important to weigh up the pros and cons. So what I did is I thought about the benefits of going through this 6-hour race, practicing my nutrition, my pacing. I had my crew coming out. Sarah Jane Pugh was going to be crewing me. Jamie Pugh, my friend, he was going to be running with us as well, so there was a benefit there. And likelihood it could have been quite humid, could have practiced my cooling strategies, decent bit of training. And then I got to the cons. Really tired, risk of injury. 6 hours in one go can knock you about a bit, so it does leave you at a bigger risk of overuse. And having to travel somewhere else, the chance of picking up an illness, a cold, over the course of that race, I've had it in the past, I've come away from a race like that and actually been ill afterwards. So I weighed that up and thought, is it really worth it? And then I looked at a couple of other options, and one of which was going to Liverpool John Moores University, where Jamie works, and doing some lab testing. Last year, around the same time, I've been over to Liverpool to do a similar set of tests before a 24-hour race in December. That race really didn't go ahead. I caught COVID 10 days out. I went there and then made the decision to stop after about 4 hours. But what the tests had shown when we did them last November was that I was as fit as I'd ever been. And I don't think I actually made it back to that point until last week. And went over and did these tests again. And we replicated what we'd done previously to try and look at our year's worth of progress and see where I was at. And then also took advantage of the environmental chamber they've got at Liverpool John Moores University and saw what my performance would be like in 80% humidity, which is what we're expecting around the clock in Taiwan. We checked a couple of different temperatures, running for a couple of hours, practiced with some different cooling techniques. And we just made sure we knew what my current fitness and the conditions meant in terms of performance. You're probably thinking, that's actually quite a big trip. You're still at risk of injury and illness from doing a long time on the treadmill, but each of those runs were at max a couple of hours at a time, spread over a number of days. So in terms of the training load, it's reasonably similar because the week either side of the will be big training weeks, so I wasn't missing anything from having to recover from a 6-hour race. It was spread out more, but I added value, or we added value, it wasn't just me alone, with all the additional kind of testing we could do and preparation for Taiwan that I wouldn't have been able to do doing a 6-hour race in Italy. If you're wondering what the results of the tests were in Liverpool, maybe we'll find out a bit about that after the championships, but we can't give away all our secrets, can we? I think the main thing I want people to take away from this is that a plan, when it's written, might be the best thing for you over the coming weeks and months, but it can always change. And it doesn't have to change. It doesn't have to change on a day-to-day basis. It can, if you're not feeling right, if you're feeling tired, if you're feeling like you're actually not pushing yourself hard enough. And that's where having a good coach, like my coach, Tom Craggs, comes in really handy, because he's there for me to bounce ideas off, and he will always hold me accountable and ask me the right questions if I am doubting or questioning the plan or wanting to change things around. When I mentioned to Tom about doing the test in Liverpool instead of the 6-hour race, he was 100% on board with the idea, and it just confirmed what I already knew, that we were making a smart decision. Sometimes people find they're struggling to follow a plan, and that may be that the plan itself wasn't built out in a way that's right for you or right for where you're at the moment, but also don't be afraid to change things based on how you're feeling, how things are developing, and where you're trying to get to. If you've enjoyed this video, please do like and subscribe. I'll come up with some more ideas in the next couple. I am going to do a training race this weekend. It's about 3.5, 4 hours. It's on the trail. I promise I'll try and get to this one rather than just skipping it. And then I have Damo Carr coming over to train with me for the next couple of weeks. So just so much easier to get this training in when you've got company. Damien's one of my teammates for the championships in Taiwan, so it's going to be great to have him out here.